Hey everybody, and welcome to the trade show floor at Imaging USA. It is a packed house today. We are having a great time at the Whcc booth, and we are honored to have Arica Dorff with us here. She stopped by the booth to kind of hang out for a little bit. So I'm going to let her tell you who she is, what she does, because the business model that she has created is truly one of a kind, and it's pretty darn awesome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So happy to be here. So I'm Arica Dorff. I am a pet photographer, and I work 3 months on, 9 months off, and I do one pet photography road trip every year. So I go around the country in my camper van with my dog, shooting up to 50 portrait sessions, and then I take the rest of the year off.
So let me get this straight. Out of the 12 months, you're working 3 months, and you have the business model created that works financially for you, and you get to spend all the 9 months with Gracie?
I do, yeah. So it was awesome. So the class that I had this morning that you guys sponsored, thank you. That class I was talking about pet photography and business. So in that class we were going over financials, how I'm actually doing ordering sessions remotely with my clients who are all over the country, and then actually saving for retirement, paying myself for the whole year, even though I'm just working for those 3 months. But yeah, we were talking about Colorado a second ago, and I'm going to spend the summer maybe in Canada. So yeah, I have the freedom to go wherever.
That's so awesome. So I know the backstory, or more of the backstory than probably our average listener does now. So let's just back up a few years. So you had a brick and mortar in Las Vegas. So what was the transition that you got to that you really wanted to completely stop and change and rebuild?
Yeah, so I had the studio for 9 years. And honestly, selling was just, I needed a change in life. The studio became very repetitive for me. The same backgrounds, the same couches, the same lighting setup. And it's a lot of the same clients now that I still work with, but just working in an outdoor environment, changing it up, doing different scenes, matching the scene that we're doing to maybe they want a fall theme, maybe they want a winter theme, maybe they want a summer theme. That's actually been a great way for me to sell multiple wall portraits in the same spot. If someone's I'm running out of wall space, I'm well then let's do a winter portrait and a summer portrait, and then you can switch it out throughout the year. But it's just been fun to do that, and just location scout for different places. So the whole thing kind of selling the studio, getting into the van, becoming an outdoor photographer, because I was all studio before. It just kind of matches my lifestyle now. It wouldn't make sense really for me to do mobile travel everywhere in my life and then do studio portraits.
And for those of you that don't know Arica and her van life, she has a converted van, and you travel, and that is your home base. You guys are in that all the time. And it's such a cool thing. One of the images that you sent us for a webinar that you did was a pullback, and it was you and Gracie in the van with the door slid open, and this beautiful scene. I mean, to most people listening, I'm assuming that sounds pretty much like heaven, So when you transitioned over to the van, was there a period of the time that you were like, oh boy, what did I do? Or was it just instantly yes, this is going to work, and no qualms about it?
Yeah, I think my hesitation was probably pretty short. I think it was towards the end of the van build. So I bought the van empty, moved out of the house I was living in, bought the van empty, rented an Airbnb for a month. So when I hired my carpenter friend, I was like, we have 30 days. We have to finish the build in 30 days because I need somewhere to live in the next 30 days. And we did 8 to 10 hours a day on the build. I think it was the last few days before the van was done where I was starting to freak out. I'm like, where am I going to park? What am I doing? What's happening? But once I got into it, it's once you do something, you become more comfortable with it. So once I got into it, I fell in love with it. And I didn't think I was going to be doing it full time. I thought, I'll just do this for now until I figure out where I want to live. And then I started traveling, and I was like, I don't want to live in a house. Like, I love my van. I want to live in my van. So, yeah.
Well, that's so cool. So, like you mentioned a few minutes ago, you taught a platform presentation at Imaging this morning. So, if people following along today want to learn more about you, your education, the van, Gracie, like where do people find you online?
Probably Instagram, Facebook. Both of those are great. So just Arica Dorff Photography. So if they want to see the behind the scenes, like the hot springs we were talking about, paddleboarding, just my adventures outside of that, it would be Arica Dorff. And Arica Dorff Photography is my photography, paintings, workshops, all of that.
So, do you have any workshops coming up that you're going to be teaching?
You know, I decided to take a break this year. I'm going to see, because I usually do a pet photography retreat every year. I think I'm going to take a break on that. But I contributed a bunch of content to PPA's pet curriculum. So they actually created an entire curriculum for pets. And if you're a PPA member, it's free. So people can go on there and they can see all kinds of content, pets, business, my business model for remote ordering sessions, all of that.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you hanging out with us today, and safe travels to you, and give Gracie's ear scratches from us too.
Shout out. One more shout out to you guys. Okay. Because, well, you guys have been my lab for 17 years. Okay. So I love working with you guys, especially now because I am a mobile photographer and I drop ship everything. So I have to have like full faith in you guys that you're going to do a great job, because when I send it to people, I don't see it. Like I send it to them and I'm like, White House is going to do a good job. So I love you guys. I never get complaints from my clients. Everything is perfect. So thank you.
Well, we really appreciate you, and thanks for sharing, and thanks for being here. And we hope that you've enjoyed this interview, and we look forward to talking with you soon. Take care.